Hey, what's up YouTube / Facebook? It's me. Told somebody I'd make this video, this brief, quick explanation, explaining myself, which I've been saying for many years, but I guess now I'll put it out there. So, you know, you won't forget. What I'm about to tell you are all facts. It's not an opinion, people. And I'm going to say this, I'm the biggest Spurs fan out there. I've always said this, though, about myself. I'm an NBA fan first, a fan of a team second, and player. That being said, I can look at things without being biased and not letting my emotion, you know, kick in and like, oh my God, and this and that, and it's all crazy, whatever. You see the title? What does it say? It says Kobe Bryant is better than Michael Jordan. Truth, and I'm going to explain to you why. Reason number one. The obvious level of help. You know, Michael Jordan had a hell of a team around him. A hell of a team. You know, his team does not get nowhere near the credit it deserves. Why? Because of Michael Jordan. The world revolved around him. Michael was always on the headline. He was the poster child, and probably always will be the poster child of the NBA. That being said, you know, his team, he always had a solid team. Unlike Kobe, you know, for the most part, his team's been very inconsistent. I will say this though, in Michael's defense, when comparing the two teams, is that Kobe's first three-peat with Shaq, I think that team was pretty solid. You had a veteran agent, Ron Harper, who was a former Bull, mind you. You know, you had guys like Robert Horry in there. Of course, you had Shaq, which was just a monster. And you had Robin for like a week. But whatever, that don't count. But, so, you know, I think Kobe had a pretty solid, you know, solid team there. That being said, do I think it was good what Michael had? No, I do not. Sure, Shaq was a hell of a dominant player, but I mean, Michael it seemed every guy that came off the bench, you know, could put numbers on the board. They could be a starter for almost any team in the NBA. You know, now and to justify my argument even more, now Kobe Bryant, he's won 2 back-to-back titles already. Going for a second three-peat this year. If he does it again this year, and it's a big if, the team does not look like that team we all thought we would see eventually with the Lakers. If he does it again, I mean, people, stop questioning yourself. He is the better player. I'm sorry. He's doing it with guys like Luke Walton. Come on, Steve Blake. You know, even back previous 2 runs, guys like Sasha Vujic. Come on. You know, really? You have a streaky Ron Artest who, God, hope he doesn't explode any given moment. Lamar Odom, who wants to play when he wants to. Shannon Brown was a solid player. He is a solid player. I did like Ariza. He was solid too. But fortunately, you know, these guys have transitioned on to other parts of their career. But with that being said, that does not compare to what Michael had. And that second three-peat they did, unbelievable. That team was solid from the first guy on the court to hell. Even Jack Haley, you know, even he was a candidate for president. You know, so guys like Tony Kukoc, Steve Kerr, you know, of course Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman. Yeah, I know, you're gonna laugh, but yeah, guys like Will Perdue, you know, and so forth down the line. Solid contributors who were consistent night in, night out. They were always consistent. You know, even the guy that, you know, was, you think, what's he, Judd Bushler, another guy, you know, contributed. First three-peat, B.J. Armstrong, Bill Cartwright, you know, I mean, you go down the list. Michael's always had a heck of a supporting cast behind him. A consistent supporting cast. Kobe's never really had that luxury. Especially now, without Shaq, that he's doing it with a much lesser team. Powell, while he is solid. You get physical with him, he tends to, you know, crumble a little. Anybody who knows NBA should know that already. You know, you do that to Powell, Powell seems to crumble up. Next point I'm going to get to, competition. What the competition that Michael had back then to now, I'm sorry, it's night and day. We would say, uh-oh, well, what's playing the Knicks? Jordan stopper, John Starks. Really? Really? Come on. Come on. Come on. John Starks was a matchup we would always look forward to. Always against Michael. Really? He was like 6'3", 6'4". I mean, that was the Jordan stopper, what they used to call him. Give me a break. Come on. I'm sorry, Michael did not have back then 6'8" freaks of nature like LeBron James. He did not have to deal with 7-footers popping three-pointers from beyond the arc. He didn't have two of the best power forwards to ever play the game he had to go up against in Kevin Garnett and Tim Duncan. He didn't even have 6'6" guys like Manu Ginobili, who were even, don't forget, Michael at his time was considered a freak of nature. Huge, fast, athletic, 6'6". That was unheard of back then. Nowadays, so that's an average guard for shooting guard for most of these teams, you know. So I know it's unfair to compare eras because you really can't, nothing we can do to change it, but hey, it is what it is. That's what it is. You know, Michael road was nowhere near as difficult, nor as complicated as Kobe Bryant. Nowhere near. And said, this is not an opinion, that's a fact. That's a fact. If you think that for 1 second, going against the Utah Jazz in the finals, you know, a team that had Jeff Hornacek, you know, guys like John Stockton, Byron Russell, while great players, Hornacek, good player, Stockton, one of the best point guards ever in the game, Karl Malone, Hall of Famer, indeed. But honestly, if you put that team against Boston today, would they win? Probably not. You put them against the 05, 03 Spurs, even 07, would they win? Probably not. You know, you put that team against even the Miami Heat, which is not going to do anything anytime soon, they're in cap hell. Miami probably wins that series. So, Chicago, while I'm not discrediting what Michael accomplished, I'm not. This is not what this is about. It's about comparing the two and how it's unfair how you people, and I say you people, that 99% of y'all, when you compare the two, you use personal emotion, what you personally feel about the player's character, which will make you say, oh, I like Michael better because, you know what, his character, I think he's a cooler person, cooler cat, and guess what? He's who I grew up idolizing. He's that first guy to do Nike, first guy to do McDonald's, guy that do, you know, Space Jam, movies, you name it, he did it. He took marketing to a whole new level, people, to a whole new level. So what happens when he does that? What happens is that we all, in our mind, grew up idolizing that, and we had this image of perfection. We had this image that this guy's larger than life. He's unreal. Well, guess what? What happens is when you're comparing the two, subconsciously, that's playing a role in your decision. Why? Is because you have this image birthed into your brain about this guy named Michael Jordan, who you think can do no wrong. You just think he's out of this world. You forget. I mean, it's almost like you buy the fairy tale, and it's not fair when we're comparing on the court opposed to off the court. Because when we have an idol, someone we idolize growing up, we don't ever want to see anybody beat them. We don't. And we will do whatever we can to protect that childhood or, you know, or any age group, any hood era that we grew up idolizing. We will not let that die. We do not want to let that die. And that's where the emotion kicks in. That's the emotion I'm talking about. You take all that consideration. You don't know you do, but you do. Excuse me. You don't know you're doing all that, but you're doing it. So with that being said, you know what? I'm not discrediting Michael Jordan. I think he's one of the best players to ever play the game of basketball. He pioneered, I mean, from media to marketing. Without him, you know, we probably wouldn't have stuff like NBA League Pass, NBA TV. He created this, you know, media outlet that just paved the way for guys Like Kevin Durant, Kobe Bryant, I mean everybody, you name it. You name it. Michael did it. But again, back to square one. That's not what this is about. This is about on-court performance. And what Kobe has had less to work with and it would seem about to accomplish just as much. And let's not forget, folks, in 94, 95, when Michael left to play baseball, you know, oh, Chicago's done, Scottie Pippen, who was the go-to guy on that team, guess what happened? He was an MVP candidate. The team won 55 games. 55 games! That's pretty good considering you lost your heart and soul. And the next year, I mean, when Jordan came back mid-season or towards the end, around there, I don't remember exactly the date. I remember saying the game against the Knicks, the first game back, I remember that. But you know, the point is that it just shows you how complete of a team that was. How complete it was. Second best record in the East, very competitive still. Take away Kobe. Does this team even make the playoffs in the West? Does it? So 2 points right there that I just threw out to you in black and white. One, how much more Kobe means to that team. And two, the level of competition. It's that much tougher now. Much more tougher. Unfair, different eras. We can't, you know, but hey, it is what it is. So before you start your witch hunt for me and start cursing me, saying, mother effer this, mother effer that, you know what you're talking about, you're an idiot, yada yada yada. Say whatever you want. You're just going to say that because I'm destroying your, I'm not destroying, well I don't know, maybe I am. Maybe I am destroying your idol, your boyhood image, I don't know. I respect Michael, I think he's the best to ever play the game. Not taking anything away from him. But Kobe Bryant is the best player in the NBA and of all time. Up to so far. LeBron could have taken over that role, but he decides to go and take his talents to, you know, be Robin. But don't get mad. I'm only being honest. If you don't like it, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. These are facts. Not opinion, this is a fact. So, hey, it is what it is. I'm being honest. If you don't, look at the name. Kobe Bryant is better than Michael Jordan. It's gonna sit in your head, and it needs to sit in your head. When you think about it, rational, objectively, it'll all be very clear. Michael, I love you, baby. I love you. I still do. I love you, Jordan. I love you, MJ. But ain't nothing wrong with being number two. Nothing wrong at all. Of all the players this league has seen, great player be number two, behind Kobe Bryant, that is nothing to be ashamed of. Even though you were kind of a D-bag, and you still kind of are. You know, when you ran Doug Collins out of Chicago, and you decided to, you know, get in fights with Steve Kerr and Will Perdue during practice, and cheat on your wife, and, you know, party all the time, and become an obsessive gambler. That's okay though. I don't care personally. I think you bet what you on the court, incredible. Love you, Michael. No shame in number two. Kobe, still holding it down, and again, he's showing you why. He's the best player, the greatest player to ever play the game of basketball. There it is. There's my rationale. This on the fly, this is the top of my head. I'm probably missing a whole bunch of things I could probably go into more detail to make it more convincing, but I think I got to the major obvious points. Competition, you know, team help, obvious. So that being said, you're welcome.